Welcome, my name is Matt, aka RoadJedi88. We are getting into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes mods. CT-21-0408 Echo. Echo was part of the 501st Squad of the Clone Troopers. That means he served under Anakin Skywalker's Clone Command squad. He is the clone who eventually gets kidnapped or captured. Rather, prisoner of war would be more efficient way of putting it. He was taken POW and was experimented on. And you know, this is kind of a crazy thing because a lot of people point out that Star Wars rips a lot into World War II. There were, if you followed the gamings of Wolfenstein all the way back to 1991, Wolfenstein is fictitious, but it does tap into the idea that World War II, the Nazis, scientists, doctors, would do human experiments testing to see if, just kind of testing the human conditions and the survival of the fittest idea, you know, how a person might survive if they had their arm chopped off without anesthetic help or any sense, and kind of watch to see how long they can survive before they were gone, dead, you know, kind of situation. This was a thing in World War II. Wolfenstein, the game, as far back as 1991, does tap into this. Star Wars with Echo, he was taken POW and was experimented on. They put those. They were kind of messing with the brain, scrambling with his brain and stuff, kind of poking at it, testing it, whatnot. And of course, later we see him in Bad Batch, part of the Bad Batch squad. Basically, kind of having to have a similar situation as what Lobot, Lando's security chief on Bespin Cloud City, has to wear. Kind of a similar contraption, probably an earlier model of it, if anything. That kind of helps kind of keep the brain functioning. It has components in the mechanic that make sure the person is still able to mentally function, if anything. Otherwise, they'd be like brain dead or brain scrambled and stuff. Anything that is affecting the neurons of the body. Echo ends up in that situation, unfortunately, but he still is a hell of a fighter. They have him classified as a support. SWGOH.GG recommends modding him up with offense and potency. Now, offense and potency, is the same thing we did as Anakin, who's an attacker, making him a tank, kind of a tank fighter, a tank attacker. But in this case, Echo being a support, we're still making him attack. He's still in it. We're letting him fight. We're allowing him to kind of go out and do more than just support, but he's gonna go out and he is going to fight. He's gonna be an attacker support, a support attacker in this case. Unless, depending on what it's in his abilities, supporting fire. So he's suppressing EMP. He's knocking out electrical circuits. Anything that's electrical, like the battle droids, he basically kind of shocks them. Copy that. Whenever. So he does that. Okay, so he is supporting almost like a tank in this case. As I'm looking at these, Domino Squad. Okay, so he is we are making him, with the mods, we're making him be able to have the functions of an attacker, even more so to the level of a tank as well. But he's supporting his squad in that sense. He's supporting them with tank reasons. You know, he's kind of tanking his squad as his way of supporting when you put this mod on him, or these mod sets with him. You can look up on my first playlist video, my first video in the mods playlist, where I definitively break down the different types of characters, as well as definitively break down the different types of mods and what it is we are doing with them. So with ST-21-0408 Echo, we are modding a support character to support with kind of both a tank, attacker and tank purposes in this sense. So modding is like cross training for a job, basically. So subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. That was CT-21-0408 Echo for mods. Thank you for following, and may the force be with you.